After filming all these film genre scenes, I had been trying to get this special casting to happen in the background of our shoots throughout the years. And the way that happened, you could say, what a story. The story of how we got Greg Sestero to be in our short film was a fun one, so let's get right into it. First of all, I have to explain who Greg Sestero is if you don't know, because it requires an explanation. So Greg starred in a film in 2003 called The Room, directed by Tommy Wiseau. It became a cult hit phenomenon because while the director tried to make it a serious drama, he had accidentally made it a hit comedy, as in it was so bad, it was good.
People are very strange these days.
The way the lines were delivered, the strange English choices, and the calm responses to absurd phrases.
Let's go eat, huh? Come on, let's go. Let's go. I'm starving.
Were just the tip of the iceberg of what makes this film special and hilarious to audience members.
Hi.
Can I help you?
Yeah, can I have a dozen red roses, please?
Oh, hi, Johnny. I didn't know it was you. Here you go.
That's me. How much is it?
It'll be $18.
Here you go. Keep the change. Hi, doggy.
You're my favorite customer.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye-bye.
After many years, this film is still selling out theaters across the world to this day, even in Antarctica.
You know, I can't even really count how many times I've seen The Room. I've seen it too many times.
It's so much more than a movie. It's a social experience.
Where you shout and throw spoons at the projector screen every time you see a picture frame with a spoon stock image in it.
Spoon!
And that's only one of the traditions.
You can laugh, you can cry, you can express yourself, but please don't hurt each other. Enjoy The Room.
Later on, Hollywood actually took a book that Greg wrote himself and made that book into a movie that released in movie theaters, which basically was a film about the making of The Room, but portrayed by other actors.
So there's this guy, Johnny, a true American hero, to be played by me. He has it all. Good luck, many friends, and also maybe Johnny is vampire. We'll see.
This set of the alleyway looks exactly like the real alleyway.
That's right.
Well, why don't we just shoot in the real alleyway?
Because it's a real Hollywood movie.
Action!
I did not hit her. I did not.
So it's kind of like a narrative documentary, if you will, or just a movie that's based on true events. So that happened in 2017, and that was called The Disaster Artist. It's a very unique movie if you ever watch it. So Greg plays Mark, the second lead in The Room. Tommy plays Johnny. Tommy Wiseau, the actor, director, and writer of the movie, is the main reason why this cult classic is what it is, because of who he is. But Greg reading Tommy's lines also earned him a spot in the film's unique essence. During the making of The Room, Greg had no idea what was going on the whole time. Basically, he was just making a film with his friend in Los Angeles, and afterwards, he didn't think anything would come of it.
I thought that was it. I thought it's cool. Tommy put his movie out there. Few people showed up. I moved on. I moved to Europe and was like modeling and doing other things. And then it wasn't until 2008 that I got a call from an Entertainment Weekly reporter who had just seen the film and called it the best cinematic experience of his life. With 60 people throwing spoons and shouting at a screen, he felt like he had to write an article about it.
Yeah, it's like as if an alien came down and studied soap operas for a week and then went back to its planet and made a movie. That would be The Room. And I always tell people the first 15 minutes of this movie will change your view on cinema and maybe even on life.
And he went on to say that it was being studied in universities and there was a celebrity fan base.
Yeah, you could have either done The Room or Room.
Yes. Oh my God, The Room.
I've had Tommy Wiseau up here.
Tell me everything.
I think for me it was probably Tom Hanks at the Golden Globe Awards. He loved The Disaster Artist. He came up, he was very enthusiastic, and I thought that was pretty damn cool.
If you were to ask the 5 best filmmakers in the world right now to make a movie like this, it wouldn't even be in the same universe.
The numbers probably prove how unlikely it is that you'll make it.
And it actually developed like a cult following, and people like me started seeing it. I've watched it so many times, I kind of love it. And we made a whole movie about it. Yeah, I saw about a year and a half maybe after it came out. Paul Rudd, I think, was the first one who mentioned it to me. I went and saw it with Jonah Hill and Ed Helms, actually.
Wow. My favorite movie of all time is The Room. I can watch this movie infinite amount of times. I never get tired of it.
I'm Justine.
Oh.
From the internet.
Oh, okay.
Literally.
Oh, I'm TW. I'm from the planet Earth.
Since then, they've continued to do multiple projects together outside of The Room.
Where is the Batman? Where is... Okay, like stand right here, like this. You're not the Batman, get out! I need Batman, where is he?
I'm Batman. The VFX compositor from Matt Reeves' 2022 The Batman movie even said that he got inspiration for designing the look of Gotham on the rooftop from The Room's rooftop scene.
Wasn't sure I'd see you again.
Yeah, well, thanks for getting... Yeah.
Tommy even starred in a commercial made by Ryan Reynolds for one of his companies.
I relied on one password to protect my company data from a bad actress who wants to steal it.
I was introduced to this film in 2013 when one of my friends said, "Hey, I heard about this film. I heard it's really weird. You guys want to watch it tonight?" All of us were like, well, we don't really know anything about it, but sure. We sat down on the couch. The movie started. Everyone was on their phones. I remember this. And as soon as the first absurd thing happened in the film, everyone's phones turned off. And everyone was glued to the screen. And nobody could believe their eyes on what they were witnessing on this TV. It's the most random movie ever, and that movie is what solidified our friend group. Fahad was included in this group also at the time. We started talking like Tommy Wiseau in our day-to-day lives, and quoting The Room as if it were another language.
You're very welcome, Danny, and keep in mind, if you have any problems, talk to me and I will help you.
You're very welcome, Danny, and keep in mind, if you have any problems, come talk to me and I will help you.
Greg had visited our home city, El Paso, Texas.
The first time I came to El Paso, I got into the airport. People were drinking margaritas. It just felt like a great time. It feels like a good spot to hang out, make movies, a lot of creative people, and people are really nice here. Sometimes in life, it's the things that you don't expect to work that do. Came here to El Paso the first time. We did a room screening here at Alamo Drafthouse for a movie party, and it's just, people love this movie. Again, it's taken me 20 years to try to figure out what's there. I still can't quite get it, but there's something in that movie that people really like. And after 20 years, I mean, you're in a movie that people call like really terrible, really bizarre, but there's something so enjoyable in it that I just come to appreciate whatever it is.
So the first time I had met him in El Paso initially was in 2016, 3 years after seeing The Room for the first time. Throughout the years, he had visited again and again. He even signed my book that he wrote. One year that he came in 2021, I had gone up to Greg when he visited the Alamo Drafthouse in El Paso, Texas. And I had just asked him about some filmmaking questions since he had about 20 more years of experience in the film industry than we had. And it had come up where I was like, hey, can I show you something that I made real quick? Then he was like, sure. Then at the time, it's 2021, and we had only shot the action and horror scenes by then. So I pulled out my phone and showed him the scene, and he looked surprised. He said, oh wow, that's actually really good. He told us that we were doing great and to keep it up. And then he said, since you all keep coming to my events every year and supporting me, like as fans, I'd like to return the favor and support you guys. If you ever want me to cameo in anything, just let me know. I'm sure we could work it out. I was stunned. Then I said, okay, sure, yeah, sounds good. And then I left, and immediately when I left, Fahad was with me at the time. I said, oh my gosh, I know what he could be in. He could be in this film. The film I literally just showed him. Then on the spot in the car, I wrote the scene that now exists in the film. Now there was 3 versions of this scene because I always prepare for different scenarios as a director. The first version of the scene was audio only, just in case I couldn't get anything from him except audio, like if he's just really busy. The second version of this scene was a fake video call that he can record on his own through a phone or a laptop. And I would be like, okay, I'm going to film this like a video call, like he's video calling in. And the third and final version of this scene was the best case scenario, which was I get him here in person somehow and film him with my camera while he acts right in front of me I could not film the opposite scene where the girl is talking to him on the phone because I wasn't sure whether or not to film her talking on a laptop video screen or talking on a phone call, because whichever option I got from him would then determine how I would shoot the office scene with the girl that he's talking to. It was about 1 year later where I had finally gotten a hold of him again, and he had been excited about the short. He eventually sent in a phone recording of himself, and it looked like we were going to go with option number 2, which is the video call version of the scene.
Hey, it's Craig. I'm just calling again in regards to meeting with you all about my script. Are you serious? I mean, I've been on his wait list for months. Just tell him that I called. What are you talking about? I just told you. Okay, thank you. Anyways, if he's so busy, what's he doing right now? What a story. Man, films, very strange these days.
So then he sent that about the end of 2022, maybe a little after we shot the Western scene. So after the film noir scene shoot in April 2023, I had gotten word from him that he was coming to El Paso for another screening of The Room. And I was like, wait, maybe this could be our chance to actually do option 3, which was filming him in person. So I picked up my phone and asked him, hey, since you're coming to town, would it be possible to shoot you for the short film? I know you sent in a video call already, but it would be awesome to get you in person. It would only take maybe 30 minutes of your time to shoot it. He responded, sure. Let's do it Monday morning, downtown. I said, okay, cool. Then I quickly figured out how to tweak the script into fixing it where it would fit daytime outside downtown into the storyline. Then I was like, okay, everyone, we can film the office girl scene now. I probably should have waited until I shot Greg's scene before shooting the office girl scene, but I was just so excited I just went for it anyway. I shot the office scene, that came out great. Then July came around. It was finally time to shoot Greg's scene in the film cafe, and working with him was actually really great. He memorized all of his lines on the spot. He got them all in one take, and we all looked at each other like, oh, okay, that's awesome. I guess let's get one more for safety.
What are you talking about? I just told you.
He said this coming out a little bit quiet. Was it in the background?
Sure. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I just told you.
Greg Sestero.
Greg Sestero?
Yeah, that one.
Greg Sestero?
So essentially, to explain the reference in the film cafe. So when Greg Sestero turns around and he's like,
What are you talking about? I just told you.
that's a reference to The Room, because in The Room, there's a girl that calls him and she's like, I miss you. And then it cuts to him and he's like,
I miss you.
I just saw you. What are you talking about?
and it's so funny. And that was actually one of my favorite lines in The Room. And I told him that, and I'm like, can we replicate that in the film? Honestly, probably only I, Fahad, and Greg Sestero gets that joke, but it's just so funny to me. So in my film, he turns around and he's like, what are you talking about? I just told you. But it's just so funny. And that might have been one of the only times that he's ever replicated that line ever since the movie came out. And I'm like, I don't know if I felt bad. Like, I don't know if you want to relive this memory, Greg Sestero, but can you please like replicate this line for me? And then the second line reference I'm going to explain is, oh wow, I didn't know it was you. So basically, that is a reference to when Johnny walks into a flower shop in The Room. The clerk was like, oh hi Johnny, I didn't know it was you.
Yeah, can I have a dozen red roses, please?
Oh, hi, Johnny. I didn't know it was you.
And it's so funny. Oh my gosh. The way that the person says the line. So I had the actress who's playing the office worker, whose name's Maura. I told her, okay, it's so weird, but just do the opposite of what you think you're supposed to say as an actor. Try to be bad, but make it good. And she's like, I think I get it. So that's what we did.
Oh. Oh.
not like that.
Oh, wow.
Just like slightly like,
yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't like a little
Wow.
bit. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
Exactly.
That's right, I gotta channel it.
Yeah, channel it.
I am so non-playable right now. Oh wow, I didn't know it was you.
Greg Sestero?
Oh wow, I didn't know it was you.
I don't know. It was so funny to film that one for us. It was just so funny. It was so awkward. It was the best.
No, it was a surreal moment getting Greg to work with us on the film, because
All we ever knew him by in high school was the guy who played Mark. And it was awesome because seeing him in real life, getting to get some exposure with him, getting to talk to him firsthand, and just how a down-to-earth guy he is, and how he is just as a normal human being. Like you take him out of the whole celebrity aspect, and he's a cool dude. He's a really genuine good person. And for him to be able to help a crew in El Paso that used to watch his film, to be able to talk to him in real life and get him to work with us on set, it was super surreal. So when Josh told me that we were going to be able to have him in the film, I didn't believe him at first. Until we were there on set, and I got to be there with them on set.
And it was an awesome time to film him in person. It was so cool. Life is a full circle sometimes, because I was watching him on my screen in 2014 in high school, just on my couch with my friends, and then now in 2023 I'm filming with him almost 10 years later.
And the fact that, again, like, he didn't have to do any of that. He didn't have to, but he did it out of the kindness of his heart, and that's something that doesn't go unnoticed, and it's very much appreciated.
Let's have it more awkward, like
different tone.
yeah, you've completely changed your character.
Okay. Thanks. Anyway, he's so busy. What's he doing right now?
Okay.
It was pretty exciting to meet him. He's a very nice guy. He was really good about it. He's not no like Hollywood, like snotty guy. He's a really nice guy.
I think it kind of speaks to the film itself almost, like, you know, Greg is known for The Room. Anyone can make a film, and as I've mentioned elsewhere, it is a miracle that any film gets made. And so to have Greg Sestero be in this film about filmmaking and about sort of the perils and pitfalls of that is, I think it's very appropriate for him to be in the film, and I think it kind of speaks to the greater themes of the film. So it's really cool to see.
With all this being said, we have complete love and respect for Greg Sestero and Tommy Wiseau. Even though some people really make fun of it throughout the world, we personally don't bash it like that. We just like it because it's just a special piece of filmmaking, and we understand completely the storyline about how that was made. So we're not really here to poke fun at it and make fun of it like to the death. We, as a friend group, kind of just celebrate it. Like, since the fact that this movie even exists, so many different people have met each other through this movie. He had also asked me to help him film something for his next movie.
The next movie I want to make is a UFO movie here in El Paso. It's called Forbidden Sky, and I hope to make it later this year.
Forbidden Sky. And since we were at White Sands already, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to film like a post-credit scene of the film cafe with Greg. Maybe he could be talking on the phone with the film executive on how the studio never got back to him about making his movie in the film cafe. And that's exactly what we did. I think that's also really awesome because even that post-credit scene is meta, because he says in the film,
I'm gonna make my own movie.
Then he walks off screen to literally in real life go make his own movie, his next movie, Forbidden Sky, which will be taking place on an outer space, white, alien planet, which looks like where he is at the moment right now. So that is a really awesome meta reference, taking it to the next level, I guess. And it was really nice to work with him. Putting him in this film is special to us because The Room was the movie that really solidified and held together our friend group from high school for more than 10 years. So randomly having one of the actors from that film leap off the screen, meet us in real life, and actually get in front of our camera with us to actually be in one of our films, I wouldn't have believed you if you told me years ago that this would happen. Another cool thing is Greg Sestero won Best Supporting Actor at a film festival that we screened at later on. Sometimes he told me that he actually gets questions about the film cafe at the room screenings. And that's so awesome to hear that people have discovered this short film somehow. So if you want someone that you've seen in a movie or a TV show, a celebrity of some sort in your film, some of them might not be up for it, but you never know if you don't ask. Because if you just build a normal relationship with them, not jumping up and down in excitement or being a nervous fan around them, but just treat them as a real person, then maybe some of them just might be up for it.
And you are...
What are you talking about? I just told you.
Greg Sestero?
Oh wow, I didn't know it was you. Sorry, I'll see if I can get a hold of my boss real quick.
Thanks. Anyway, if he's so busy, what's he doing right now?
He's, dealing with someone.
Come on, man, pick up. I found this new location. Hello? Pastrami? Can you hear me? Hello? You know what? If you can hear this, I'm gonna make my own movie. All right? You guys suck. You take that to the bank. I'll show them.
Once again, thank you, Greg, for jumping aboard our crazy movie. We hope to do more good work with him in the future because both of them are actually really good actors. So I can definitely see the potential on future projects if we ever do something together again. With all the scenes basically done, actually that was the last scene in the film that was shot. Let me backtrack to talk about some of the other things about this film's production. Before reaching the finish line for this one, let's talk about sitting at that little cafe.